Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and I want to address the attorneys who steal from their clients and the fact that after it has been discovered, how long it takes in the court to have it resolved. That's what I want to talk about. Now, the fact that it happens means it's a network of thieves. There's a network of thieves, and it should or must include bankers and your justices. It's a network. It's just not a particular attorney doing a particular thing. And the first time it happened, what I am saying should have gone into play. It should have been brought into practice. Okay, let's say you are buying land, whether you're abroad or whether you live on the island, whether you're local or foreign. Okay, if you're buying land, and you get a realtor. You have to find the land, get the realtor, and then you get someone who wants to sell you the land. Okay, you got, you have, so you pay them 10%. You give the realtor, and attorneys in Barbados would tell you not to give realtors the deposit. They would tell you that. But let's say you give the realtor that 10% deposit to show, hey, I really am interested in buying this particular plot of land. Okay, so you do that, and then you hire, after you decided that you want to have this land, you hire an attorney, and the seller is going to have an attorney. Okay, so after they do all of what they're supposed to do to make sure you have good, clean, clear title, it should be normal that the check that they ask you to send, let's say the land is 200,000, let's go for 200,000. And then their fees, and you include their fees. And if you have to have paperwork to show that it was the central bank knows that this money is coming from abroad, whatever paperwork has to be on hand, should be on hand. And the check that you write for payment of that land that you want to purchase should have 3 names on it. There should be 3 names on it. It should be the seller's name, the person you're buying the land from, the seller's attorney, and your attorney. And there should be an escrow account. It cannot just go into an attorney's account. Every transaction where you have to give your attorney money for a land sale or a substantial amount of money. I'm not talking about paying him for costs for doing something, just costs. I'm talking about giving him, her a substantial amount of cash. Your banker should know, okay, we have to open a new account. Your attorney should know this. All attorneys in Barbados it should be made that every time a large set of money is given to them, you need to go to the bank. You need to go to the bank and open up an escrow account. So your secretary or your paralegal, that's something that they should be doing depending on how many cases, how successful you are. They should always be at the bank opening up these accounts with 3 names. 3 names. The person who is selling the land needs to be paid, and the attorneys, one for the seller, one for the buyer, they need to be paid for whatever they did. So 3 names should be on that check in that special account. So the first person that the check should go to is the seller. And the bank should know that. No one can go into that escrow account and have a check made to an attorney. Now, the bankers need to be trained. The first check that is drawn from that escrow account is to the seller. And what remains, whatever goes to attorney number A and attorney number B, and then that account is closed out. If there's any problem, let's say that the seller says, oh, you're charging me too much or whatever, there should be a red phone. A red phone. Ring, 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 ring. When that red phone rings, oh, shit. Attorney's trying to steal some money from somebody. You should know. From the time that red phone rings, you know that something is up with an attorney and money and client, and you should have a tribunal. And whatever tribunal you have, if it is something that they need to look at within a couple of days, resolved within a couple of days, that attorney should pay the tribunal people how much time they took to look at it or whatever, or whoever. But if it's the seller that is quibbling and the tribunal does what it does, whoever stopped the presses from going forward, they pay. It comes out of their money. They will pay the tribunal or the mediator or whoever has to resolve that red phone problem. The red phone problem, you have someone to do it immediately. Not going into 10 years, 20 years. No. Immediately. Okay? So the problem you have here is not only the attorneys. When you say here, you cannot write off all attorneys. It's not only attorneys. It's the banks. It's your bankers. The bankers. When you give money to an attorney, make sure that that check has 3 names on it. 3 names. And it goes into a special newly opened account. And that means that the bank has to know that this is an escrow account. And the first check that is written from that account should go to the person who no longer has that land. The land is sold. Okay? The land was sold. And they need to get paid. And then the attorneys get their money afterwards. It is so simple. It is so simple. So when the diaspora is talking about backing efforts to regulate attorneys, you are complicating things. It's escrow account. Can you say that word, escrow? It's something that is new. Send your secretary, your paralegal, open an escrow account. Okay? And nothing happens, no stamps, nothing happens until everyone is paid, and then you get your clean, clear title. Everything is nice and neat and cute and looking all packaged. You get that, you own your land, you go and take your land, whatever happens, all good. It's all good. But make sure you write the check with 3 names. And if you, as the vendor, if you do not write the check with those 3 names, they should be able to come up. If there's something happening, you should be pulled into it. Everyone has to be made accountable when these things happen. Everyone has to be made accountable when these things happen. Stop looking at only the attorneys. It's a network. It's a network that involves banks and your justices, the people that sit in your courts and try to tell you, well, you are, going here and you can't get this, and trying to determine how good you are, how worthy you are. Nah, they're part of it too. They are a part of it too. It's your justices, it's your attorneys, and it's your bankers. And what you need to do is people need to educate now. You need to, when you buy something and you have to write a big check for what you bought, make sure that you have every name on that check. And then the bank, they come in next. The bank would make sure that the seller gets their money first. That's a lion's share. Then the attorneys will get the balance. And if you have to ring that red phone, if that red phone goes off, whatever happens after that should be expeditious, whatever the word is. It should be expedited. It should be quick. It should be easy. And if there's whoever is causing commotion, whoever has caused that commotion, you charge them. You get the stipend from them, whatever stipend because you have to get paid for your time. Okay, you're mediating. You're part of a tribunal, maybe more than one person. You need to get paid from the person who is causing the stir up. And if you see the red phone rings, you should be saying, oh, shit. Attorneys at it again. Attorneys are at it again. Okay? So always remember not to complicate things. This is simple. This is very simple. Okay? Stop complicating matters. If you are the vendor, if you are the person who's writing the check, make sure that all the names of the parties, the attorneys for both sides and the seller, has the name on that check, and make sure that it goes into an escrow account, brand spanking new account. Okay, it's very easy. This is very easy. Okay, stop complicating life. And the fact that this was able to go on in Barbados for so long shows how ignorant people are to the law, how ignorant and how you complicate things. And also it shows there's a network. There's a network of criminals, of thieves within your system there. That's why it was able to go on for so long. So now, come on now, take your finger down from off your cheek and pretend that you are like, nah, come on now. This is easy. Why is it easy? An escrow account and 3 names. 3 names. And all the other little things that you do, make sure you pattern from what I've just said, because little things can grow into big things too. And if you can't trust them with little things, you can't trust them with big things. You know how it goes. But always look to see what works and pattern from that. You need brand spanking new bank accounts when you're giving money to an attorney. A brand spanking new account, an escrow account. Have their people or have them go and open the account. I'm repeating myself, I know, but have a brand spanking new account. So that means the banks are going to be held responsible. Attorneys, justices, everyone will be pulled in. And that what you have to do is unravel that network of crime, that network they have of criminals there. You have to unravel it. But it's not only the attorneys. It's not only the attorneys. Your banks are complicit. The bankers are complicit. Okay? This is Sherry Veronica.